Hello and welcome to the show. This is the Einstein's PlayStation podcast, and I'm your host, Isaac Miller. Today we're going to be going over some news, some deals, and the games that are coming out this week. I hope you enjoy this podcast. Let's delve right into this one. So we're going to start off with some news that you can use. Thanks for that blogcast. So you can upgrade your PlayStation Network sub account now when you turn 18, and without losing any data or trophies. And if you want to find that link so you can do that, it's on Einstein's PlayStation Playground. The PS4 is still dominant in sales for January, and it is still the cumulative leader according to NPD data. So sales, although they decreased after the holiday season, are still at a better pace than last gen consoles. And last but not least, we have a list of games that are confirmed from Sony for 2015. Some of them even have release dates. There's also a link to that on Einstein's PlayStation Playground. We have some deals which consists of 5 games that you can pick up for pretty cheap prices. Far Cry 4 is $40 on Amazon, as is Dragon Age Inquisition. You can pick up Shadow of Mordor for $30 on Amazon. Last of Us Remastered is also $30 on Amazon. And you can pick up Little Big Planet 3 digitally through Groupon for $23. So this week, the week of February 15th, there's 6 games coming out. And on February 14th, this Tuesday, is Hand of Fate, Trivial Pursuit Live, Q*bert Rebooted, Pillar, and Paparazzi. And on Friday, February 20th, is The Order 1886. Yep, that's right. The third-person shooter PlayStation 4 exclusive is out this Friday. Now time for a weekly topic. This week we're going to be talking about how the year started off and what the year is going to be looking like going into the summer. This year, 2015, is set to have lots of big titles released. Let's see how it's doing so far. So, we started off with Apotheon being released, and then followed that up with Dying Light and Evolve, 2 huge games, and they both impressed us a lot. We also had the Game of Thrones Episode 2 of the Telltale series. We had Grim Fandango Remastered, and we had Life is Strange Episode 1. All of these games were very solid, and I think they kept us and are continually keeping us entertained until The Order 1886 comes out. We even had Super Stardust Ultra and the Resident Evil remake, which they are all pretty sweet games. But in the months to come, we have lots and lots of sweet titles. So, like, Friday, The Order is coming out. And then, the next Friday, we have Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires, Dragon Ball Xenoverse. And those are 2 new titles that you can delve into. And then in March, that's when everything starts to kick in. We have the Devil May Cry Definitive Edition, Project Cars, Resident Evil Revelations 2, Episode 1. We also have Battlefield Hardline coming out in March, Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, Bloodborne, The Witcher is coming out. Oh, wait, no, that's in the summer. My bad. We also have Borderlands, the Handsome Jack collection. And that wraps it up for March. And then going into June, which is early summer, we have Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, and Mortal Kombat 10. So, this whole setup is set to start off our year great. But let's go back and let's see how the games that I talked about that were our staple of releases, let's see how well they actually did. Apotheon, you can see the review on our website right now. We gave it a 75 out of 100. It did let us down just a little bit, but it was good enough and fun enough to hold us over. They're also Evolve totally held up to its expectations, and it delivered exactly what it set out to do. Which, if all games that come out this year live up to that standard, or even close, it will be a good year. It will be a good year. Dying Light also delivered. Although it did not meet its expectations perfectly because of clunky controls and such, and broken trophies, it was still a staple game. So with all of these in mind, and as we know, the games set to come, such as the giant games of The Witcher 3, Batman Arkham Knight, and the list goes on and on, with smaller games such as Axiom Verge, and there's also big games like Battleborn and Dead Island 2. All these games that need to live up to Evolve's standards of what they set out to do and their execution of doing it. If they can do that, this might be one of the greatest years in gaming, period. Especially because of the innovations coming to the PlayStation 4, such as with Uncharted 4, what they are set out to deliver with all the processing with the hair movement. Drake has chest hairs that move when the wind blows. And his hair gets wet. His hair on his head gets wet when during the gameplay footage, his hair got wet when he went underneath the waterfall, which is pretty sweet. And it also shows off some foliage demos that you can crouch in, and all this AI that they're setting out to use with the PlayStation 4's power. The expectations set on all these games are so high. Because they should be, because they're so innovative. And I don't want them to be let down, such as Far Cry 4. It was just subpar to what all the hype that we put onto it. Like all the hype going into 2014 that we get because of staple games and because of all these good releases that we put on 2014, all the pressure and all the hype that goes into games can destroy them or it can make the entire industry grow overnight. Look at Watch Dogs. We put so much hype onto it. It didn't turn out to be a bad game, but it did not turn out to be the expectations that we put onto it, which were unreasonable. I think that expectations put on 2015 games set to release now are not unreasonable, but they just should be met. And the expectations we put on something dictates how good it will be in the outcome. Even if we did not have expectations, the games would continually blow us away. So, we as press and as members of the community need to be wary of our of hype trains and expectations placed onto developers, because even if they're good games, even spectacular games, and they don't live up to the expectations, that can wreck our industry. But there's still hope that they can exceed us and prove us wrong and show us that, hey, we made good games, here it is, hope you enjoy it. That's what developers should do, and that's what the direction we want our industry to head in. Here at Einstein's PlayStation Playground, that's what we want them to go into the future. So that's going to wrap things up here. I hope you have enjoyed the show. If you want some more information, please visit Einstein's PlayStation Playground.wordpress.com. Hopefully we can upgrade soon and get that WordPress off. But to support us and to help us out, please leave a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also subscribe to our website via email. I'm your host, Isaac Miller, signing off.